Hello guys and girls, so hope we're all lovely jubbly. Where are we today? So we are at Suffolk Water Park. This is M1, or Match Lake 1 is more formally known, but I wanted to fish the traditional, but unfortunately there was a silvers match on, so this is a close second. I was weighing this one up in traditional, but I'm always drawn to the traditional lake more so, but there is a silvers match on, so that lake is closed. So you find me here. There's two other anglers, one on each end of this lake. They were both fishing the traditional overnight, but had to move to make way for that match, of course. So I've decided to go, along the middle pegs, just to give a bit of space. And if the fish feel pressured each side, then perhaps they're going to ball up a bit in the middle. But as you can see, got the carp rods out today. So what am I fishing? What's my tactics? So I'm on solid bags, and I've got a whittled down pop-up on each, Northern Special, pink. Pink's a good colour to use this time of year, isn't it? And then topped like a Medusa rig, topped with red maggots. So, for me personally, naturals outweigh anything for most species this time of year. Albeit it's quite mild. It's meant to be a north and east wind switching today, but as you can see, there's not a lot of wind on the lake, and I decided to fish this bank because you might be able to see a little bit of ripple on the edge of the other side, as it is a north and east wind switching a little bit. I wanted to be on the other side, off that wind. I wanted to be this side, so yeah, fairly mild. Does say real feel 0 today, but I don't know, it feels to me more like 4 or 5. So yeah, they're the rigs. So where have I got them positioned? So I remember fishing this lake from old, and I wouldn't fish that far out. You'd hook fish just on the edge of that jetty. And I think the reason behind that, obviously, fish do cruise around the margins, especially in the warmer months, of course. But I think when this was a very popular match lake and there was constant matches on here, people at the end of the session would just chuck their bait in, wouldn't they? You wouldn't generally keep it. Some people did, but I think back then, there was a bit more money in people's pockets and they'd just chuck it in. So I think the fish got used to, coming close and feeding and feeling safe feeding on that. And I remember tench and carp easily caught, off the edge of the jetty. So I've actually positioned one not too far out off that jetty. Obviously got a lovely willow tree beside me there, which is gonna, give that safety aspect to fish. They might hold up there, or at least feel more comfortable feeding there. So that's the left rod. Obviously being careful of the jetty itself. So, watching my line and stuff there. But yeah, on the right rod, I've decided to go fish a little bit further out just to try and find the fish. Probably about 3/4 of the way out. Now, what I remember this lake and quickly plodding around, this swim, you've got that shelf early on, and it's quite gradual. I couldn't personally find, I didn't want to dot over lead around too much because I'm on bags, and I think this is, pretty samey all around, other than a few spots of the lake. So I decided to fish 3/4 of the way out, and just try and find some fish. So let's see how we get on. Well, I had a liner on that swim, but wasn't feeling confident. So the great thing about alarms, as you can have a good eye on the water all the time. And I noticed some fizzing on this swim, well, more into the central position. Weren't quite sure whether they were bream or carp, but I thought, hey, I'll give it a go. So by this point, we had about 3 hours left because it does shut at 5. But sadly, nothing. So you'll notice the boxes come up on this screen. Do yourself a favour, have a look at some fish, because unfortunately I can't show you some this time around. But hey, that's fishing, isn't it? Really appreciate you dropping by, and tight lines on your next session.